Hey y'all, in this video you are going to learn how to make a cute and simple maxi dress. This took me about 30 minutes and I am a beginner sewer, so if you are more advanced this should take you no more than 10-20 minutes. So all you will need for this is 2.5 to 3 yards of fabric depending on your style, the length you want it, the width you want it, so on and so forth, a sewing machine, a piece of poster board or cardboard or paper for your pattern, a marker, and a tape measure, and that's it. Alright y'all, we are ready to begin. What you're going to do is take a measurement of your bust. Your bust is where your maxi dress will lay, so it is very important that you get this measurement correct. So what you're going to do is measure your whole entire bust. I did mine in the center of my bust because that's where I want mine to lay, and then after that you divide it by 6.28, which is pi times 2, so 3.14 times 2, so don't forget to divide it. So after that, you are ready to cut. What you're going to do is just trial and error. You are going to draw a circle skirt along with your measurements. So what I did was I drew a couple of them to see which one that I liked the best because I am not a good drawer at all. It takes me a long time to draw even the simplest things. So after you are done, just make sure you pick out the one that you want, and you may only have one. I had multiple, so I picked out the one that I wanted and I placed it on my fabric and I cut it out accordingly. This piece will be very important at the end of your sewing because this will be your top piece and this will be the piece you will have to sew on the maxi dress in order to create that awesome looking flap. So once you're done with that, you're going to take a tank top that you can fit and fold it in half long ways. I suggest that you cut along the fold so you do not have to cut it twice. I use a fabric cutter for mine because it is much easier for me to get a straighter line, and what I did was I began pinning when I cut. So every time I cut, I would pin, so on and so forth. I cut mine in a slant so mine could be longer and wider at the bottom. So that's just what I did. That is totally optional. You can cut it straight if you want it to be form-fitting, but I found that I enjoyed it more when it was wider at the bottom and it was easier to walk. So once you're done with that, just begin pinning along the sides. So just pin all the way down so you can know where to sew. My pins are about 1 inch or 2 away from each other just so I can guide myself during sewing, and once you're done with that, you are good to go. Okay, so now it's time to begin sewing. So what you do is just sew to each pin, and what I did was I backstitch at each pin. So at the end of each pin, I just backstitched about 2 or 3 times just to make sure that my seams were okay and my seams were tight. So just sew all the way to the end of the fabric. This may take some time, but you want to make sure your seams are so straight because this will affect how the skirt looks in the back. So make sure your seams are just wonderful straight, so just take your time. Patience is of the essence and you'll be glad you did. So just relax, take your time, sew along the pins, and do not forget to backstitch. So after you've sewn, you are ready to put your top piece into your dress. What I did was I basically did it like a hem. I inserted it in the front of your dress and I lined it up to the front and I put it in a hem and I put 4 pins in. 1 on the side, 1 on the back, and then 1 on the other side and 1 in the front as well to make sure that it was going to hem properly. And I just sewed around until it was completely finished. Alright y'all, here are the results. I have modeled it wearing it both long and short, so I hope you're happy with it. Please do not forget to rate, comment, like, and subscribe, and send me a message if you have any sewing or cooking requests. Alright y'all, bye!